Hey everybody, and welcome to Rise and Grind. We have a new episode. Welcome back to the Monday edition. I have 6 articles here. Let's get started with the first one. This one is, I don't know if it's heartwarming or not, but it is an interesting read in that Thailand's cabinet approves a marriage equality bill to grant same-sex couples equal rights. So sorry to hear that hasn't already happened, but so glad to hear it's currently happening. So Thailand's cabinet on Tuesday approved an amendment to its civil code to allow same-sex marriage with an exception for the draft to be submitted to Parliament next month. So they're submitting this next month. This has not been passed. I'm not reading that it's been passed. A deputy spokesperson said the amendment to the civil and commercial code will change the words from men and women and husband and wife to individuals and marriage partners for same-sex couples to be able to receive the same rights that heterosexual couples receive. Thank you. Okay, it's about fucking time. Everyone deserves rights. No one has to be here. You know the deal. Well, famously, for being an LGBTQ plus friendly country, Thailand has struggled to pass a marriage equality law. Parliament last year debated several legal amendments to allow either marriage equality or civil unions which do not grant same-sex couples all the same rights as heterosexual couples. All of the bills failed to be passed before the Parliament session. Yeah, old fucks need to get out of politics and move on with their lives because their lives are over. We own this planet, so move over. Yeah, a little short read, but good to hear they're trying. Bad to hear it's not going great last year, this year. We'll see where they go. If you want to read some more, there's some more to that article. I'll put it in the link below. Let's see here. This one is scipost.com. I do not know this source. Thailand's still run by the military party. That's why. Well, there you go. It's from Emo Looks and Twitch chat as we do this live. This one, there's a coup some years ago. Yeah, so it's still ruled by fascism. Got it. So on the surface, it looks good, but deep down below, this one, I don't know this particular scipost.org. This was from a science thing that I follow that they posted this. Attractiveness has a bigger impact on men's socioeconomic status than women, a study suggests. Interesting. A recent study published in Social Science Quarterly has shed light on an intriguing aspect of our lives, our physical appearance during our teenage years. Hold on one sec, I need to reload this page. There we go. Physical appearance during our teen years can impact our social mobility. Researchers found that being perceived as attractive during adolescence can significantly boost a person's chances of moving up the social ladder in terms of education, occupation, income. Well, wouldn't that just give you more options as well too? People give you the benefit of the doubt. They are anyone with more charisma or is just put ahead. Maybe their confidence is boosted because of this. There's all of these little things that happen as well too because of this. So of course, if you get a head start and you get ahead, you get further ahead. Yeah, no shit. We've all heard the saying that looks aren't everything. Yeah, but people also say money can't buy happiness, but it sure does buy a lot of options. But this study suggests that they might matter more than we think when it comes to social mobility. While previous research has explored various factors influencing social mobility, such as education and family background, the role of physical attractiveness often goes overlooked. This study aimed to fill that gap by examining how physical appearance in adolescence might affect a person's future opportunities and success. Sure, it has a big deal. Your height, your whatever society deems to be good, right? Good being attractive, or these other things, right? Of course, has a huge impact. My co-author and I became interested in this topic because there is a popular notion that physical attractive individuals have an advantage over others, not only in terms of finding romantic partners, but also in terms of achieving other important outcomes, such as having higher incomes. Yet we couldn't find many studies that would show if attractiveness really helps to improve individuals' socioeconomic position when compared to their parents. Sure. To conduct the study, the researchers analyzed data from the National Longitudinal Study of Adolescent Health, which involves 20,000 adolescents in the United States. They looked at information from 3 different waves of data collection, spanning from the mid-90s to the late 2010s. Interesting. So there is this was like what I was talking about in the pre-show, that I'm a twin and I'm a part of a twin study. So some of that data could be used in these ways. Like, I don't think my data in particular, as they do not calculate how attractive we are or whatever that may mean. But you have these long-term studies that have been done over decades that gives you huge pools of information in which to do things with. So that's where they're getting that from. The researchers assessed that participants' physical attractiveness using interviewer ratings obtained during the first wave of data collection when the respondents were aged 12 to 19. Ew. Wait, what? We're asking an interviewer to rate how attractive a adolescent is? Oh, no. No. That's ew. Oh, straight to jail. Straight to jail. The person interviewing should be like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, ew. The attractiveness ratings ranged. Ah, God. I'm gonna wash that away. That is disgusting. These ratings were used to, let's see here, the attractiveness ratings range from very unattractive to very attractive. These ratings were used to gauge the participants' physical attractiveness during their adolescent years. Gross. To measure social mobility, the researchers... Epic fingerprints, hello. We are back. We're reading about attractiveness. This is a weird article. It got real weird real fast because I was like, how are they going to measure attractiveness in adolescence? That's awfully weird. Codified attractive traits defined in their studies. Got it. How tall are they? Are they overweight? Like this, that, or the other thing. To measure social mobility, the researchers compared the educational, occupational, and income attained of these adolescents in adulthood with the socioeconomic status of their parents. This allowed them to determine whether individuals had moved up or down the socioeconomic ladder compared to their parents. The researchers found that individuals who were rated as attractive or very attractive during their adolescence years were more likely to experience upward social mobility in terms of education, occupation, and income when they became adults. This effect was significant even when accounting for various factors such as socioeconomic background, cognitive abilities, personal traits, health, and neighborhood characteristics. Interesting. Which reminds me how basically all girls get hit on by old men at that age range, and it drops off when we get into our 20s and beyond. Probably doesn't drop off until you get it to like 30. But yeah, like it's so weird to hear comments from people. It's like, look at that. Look at those pretty high schoolers. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's disgusting. I always like stand up to these people and go, ew, that's gross. Those are minors and children. You have just said that about children. This is like when you read an article that was like, male teacher rapes female student, and then you read another one where it's like female teacher has sexual relations with male student, and it's like, wait a second, aren't these the exact same thing? Why are we using different language? Like, holy shit. Yeah, no. If you're within like arm's reach of me, I've probably hit on you. It's just how it works. Because like you're really attractive. Just like Gindred's chat, like everyone in chat is really attractive. So anyways, this study got real weird. But yeah, it says like being attractive helps you out in these other things. So whatever is the social model for what is attractive, because that has changed over the last 500 years or whatever. So interesting. Random man in a car take a picture on a camera with me and a friend when we were in middle school, and ew, gross. Exactly. Disgusting. Got real weird in the middle of this article, so we'll put the link down below. Let me know what you think in the comments on YouTube. Go ahead and press that subscribe button. If you're on Twitch, go ahead and press that follow button. On to the next article. This one is a nice one, I hope. Oh man, if this one's not a nice one, I'm going to be weirded out, because yeah, you were literally just existing. So like Bimka in chat says, we were literally just walking on the sidewalk too and had a picture taken of a snakerfin. Hello. The thing about this is that women always have been treated like prey. So when they have these like instincts about people, you just believe what the woman says, because like it's usually correct. Anyways, this next article, Biden marks Trans Day of Remembrance. We must never be silent in the face of hate. I like that title. I saw that title and I was like, that one. I try to never be silent in the face of hate as much as possible. President Biden honored transgender Americans on Trans Day of Remembrance, which falls on November 20th each year. That was yesterday. And serves to pay tribute to trans people who lost their lives to violence. And I assume everybody else. I'm gonna draw my thing. Goes on to say, today on Transgender Day of Remembrance, we are reminded that there is more to do to meet that promise as we grieve the 26 transgender Americans whose lives were taken this year. While each one of these deaths is a tragedy, the true toll of those victimized is likely even higher, with the majority of those targeted being women of color. A report released Monday by the Human Rights Campaign serves to shine a light on LGBTQ+ organization called an epidemic of violence against the trans and gender non-conforming community in the United States, one that especially impacts transgender women and transgender people of color, who the report said are elevated risk of fatal violence. And this is like their own violence against themselves, like through suicide or whatnot, and also violence like from what I understand, and violence against them. It's not great to probably be a person of color and a transgender woman. The article goes on to say the risk is compounded for black transgender women who comprise the vast majority of victims of fatal violence against trans and gender non-conforming people. The separate statement, Secretary of State Antony Blinken said the U.S. affirms the humanity and human rights of transgender persons globally. Trans individuals are a part of every country, every culture, and every faith and tradition, Blinken said. And when people say, like, well, I've never met a trans person, it's like, you don't know that you've met a trans person, but you probably have, because there are many passing trans people that you'll probably see all the time. There are even probably people that you look at and go, that person's trans, and it's like, no, they're not, because you can't know. So all these people are like, we know, blah, blah, blah. No, you can't know. Just be nice to people. It looks like this article goes on to say some more, but so glad that Biden has come out strong, come out swinging, go, hell yeah, we support people. Other people would probably poo-poo him and say, like, oh, it's only 26 people. Well, 26 people that died, and, like, there is other violence against this group of people, and it's not good. And the stupid, shitty culture war that the Republicans want to have, which is, like, dividing our country more than anything. All liberals divide the country. No, like, hating on the other and causing violence towards people is the problem. Stop being violent towards other people. I've said this time and time again. Do not be violent towards other people. Let's just start there as a baseline. Once we can get up off of that, we can start having other conversations. Stop bothering other people. Anyways. Thank you, President Biden, for coming out and saying this. I salute thee. We'll go on to the next article. This one also gives me hope for the future. We were talking about this maybe even every just episode. I even brought it up at the beginning of this one. This is from Pleasanton Weekly. I don't know what this is, but I don't know the site, but what they bring forward for news is recognizing fake news now a required subject in California schools. Hell yeah. Instead of standalone class, media literacy will be woven into existing classes and lessons. Love to hear it. Like, we need, like, it's such a problem. Back in the 90s when the internet came out, it was like, it'll be the bastion of the best information, and it just got co-opted and corrupted and is not the bastion of the best information because people are shitty. Like, if people weren't shitty, like, yeah, we could have a lot better things, but people are incredibly shitty. So I digress. The article says, pushing back against the surge of misinformation online, California will now require all K-12 students to learn media literacy skills, such as recognizing fake news and thinking critically about what they encounter on the internet. Yay. Gavin Newsom last month signed Assembly Bill 873, which requires the state to add media literacy to curriculum frameworks for English, language arts, science, math, and history History Social Studies, rolling out gradually beginning next year. Instead of standalone classes, the topic will be woven into existing classes and lessons throughout the school year. Can't you do both? Don't you want like a very specific class and then also, because then they can turn to that teacher teaching that class and go, hey, how do I weave more into my curriculum? And you have an expert on hand. We'll see. We'll see what they actually do. The bill sponsor goes on to say, I've seen the impact of misinformation had on the real world, how it affects the way people vote, whether they accept the outcomes of elections, try to overthrow our democracy. Good callback to Jan 6th. Yeah, yep. This is about making sure our young people have the skills they need to navigate this landscape. One of the biggest problems is YouTube and Facebook will pipeline people into shit that gives their brain dopamine and gives them money. They don't give a shit if it's good information, bad information. We've even seen Twitter, that is now called X, which I hate that name. It's so bad. Turn to this and they are doing less and less, and I believe the EU has brought forward a lawsuit against them for misinformation ever since Elon Musk took over. Snakerfin is currently on a 3-stream streak. Is this like a new thing? You're popping again, by the way. I assume it's being so close to the mic. Thank you. Papa. Let's not do that. Let's put mic down here and a little bit away from me so I don't breathe here and I don't breathe here. We go over the mic. How is this, everybody? It's going to be a little bit quieter, but we can like adjust from there. But we shouldn't be popping. It is. I've seen it a few times. Interesting. This is probably some new parasocial thing. I'm close to a 15 stream streak. There you go. Interesting. Let's make more parasocial weirdness and other things. People get extra channel points if they keep watching a streamer. Yeah. So the boo oints, if you will. Under the channel points area, click. Oh man, I get a 2x multiplier on my own stream. Review queue for questions. Anyways. California schools, good job. There's more to this article and we got sidetracked. Feel free to read the rest of the thing, put comments in Twitch chat or YouTube comments, and I'll reach out to you and talk to you about it. This article has a lot more to it, but like that's one of the things I always try to do is find articles that are not violence, hopefully. Or at least direct violence like Gaza Hamas, or like major crazy politics, like a bunch of the coverage of all the Trump lawsuits and other things. I think that's very, very accessible information. So we try to go off of those two paths. If you do have articles to submit, again, submit them in the Discord in the section for Rise and Grind, and we can review them. Next one. This one caught my eye. The title of it says, Nothing's iMessage app was a security catastrophe taken down in 24 hours. I believe Nothing is a new cell phone. Nothing promised end-to-end connection, end-to-end encryption, then stored text publicly in plain text. That's not good. It turns out companies that stonewall the media's security questions aren't actually that good at security. Most modern tech companies, like the Internet of Things, like your refrigerator that's connected to your phone, or your oven that can connect to your phone, or this or that or the other things. These are huge security holes because these companies don't give a shit about putting Wi-Fi vulnerabilities onto your network. Like, oh, but you can Wi-Fi connect your everything, and it's like, ew, no, thank you. Tuesday, Nothing chats, a chat app from Android manufacturer called Nothing, and upstart app company Sunbird brazenly claimed to be able to hack into Apple's iMessage protocol and give Android users blue bubbles. We immediately flagged Sunbird as a company that had been making empty promises for almost a year and seemed negligent about security. Let's see here. Like Wi-Fi connecting your garage door. You always notice that most people who work in tech don't have smart anything, right? Like I would prefer to have the dial on the thermostat. Like, I just want that. I have no apps on my phone. for the twin study, they were like, hey, you have to like install some apps on your phone. I had to go password reset to like then put it onto my phone, and then I will be deleting it promptly. It's like the Fitbit or whatever. That's what this is on my wrist here. We have a Fitbit from them so they can data collect. But yeah, I have jack shit on my actual phone, and my work phone is not the phone you've seen on stream. This is the phone you've seen on stream, my iPhone 8 or whatever. And my actual work phone is an iPhone 6, 5, and I put everything on there. And when they're like, the app won't run, I was like, this is the phone I have for work. If you would like to give me a phone or something else, you can give me a phone. But if it doesn't run on this thing, I don't give a shit. And then I turn it off, right? Did you take a few days off? Glad to see you again. Zealousy, I got a new tattoo. I'm doing this trick. It's my one joke, everybody. People have seen it before. But look, let me roll up my sleeve here and show you my new tattoo. Bang! Look at that thing. I tattooed the inside of my arm with my own blood because in a blood draw, she blew out my vein so hard. Here's my fist for size. But anyways, everyone on YouTube can see the joke as well, because I don't think I did the joke mid things here. Or I can't remember how time works. But anyways, I was at a twin study, did a blood draw, had to tell her to stop. We went to Denver for the weekend. It was awesome. Anyways, back to the article. We're getting really sidetracked every time. It's great. It's no problem. I expected this to go this way. Anyways, we immediately flagged Sunbird as a company that had been making empty promises for almost a year and seemed incredibly negligent about security. The app launched Friday and was immediately ripped to shreds by the internet for many security issues. It did not last 24 hours. Nothing pulled the app from the Play Store Saturday morning. The Sunbird app, which Nothing Chat is just a reskin of, has been put on pause. The initial sales pitch for this app, that it would log you into iMessage on Android if you handed over your Apple username and password, was a huge security red flag that meant oh wait, you have to hand it over and not just authenticate through? Oh no. Instead, the app appeared to be about as unsecure as we expected. Here's Nothing statement. They have like a statement on it. How bad? Let's see here. Epic fingerprints. I work in IT. I have some smart lights, but it's also, since I'm extremely low vision, it helps. Yeah. So a lot of the connected stuff for people for accessibility, I'm so glad it exists. But I'm also so sorry you have to give up all of your safety and security and a lot of your privacy as well too when you have those, right? So there's a give and take. Thanks Nakerfin for sharing in the Twitch chat. How bad are the security issues? Both 9to5 Google and Text.com, which is owned by Automatic, the company behind WordPress, uncovered shockingly bad security practices. Not only was the app not end-to-end encrypted, as claimed numerous times by Nothing and Sunbird, but Sunbird actually logged and stored messages in plain text on both the error reporting software Sentry and in a Firebase store. Authentication tokens were sent over unencrypted HTTP, so this token could be intercepted and used to read all of your messages. So one of the things my grandma told me years ago, if it sounds too good to be true and you don't understand why it's like too good to be true, it definitely is too good to be true. It definitely is. Smuggles, good morning. Hello. Really says something when WordPress says your software is trash. Yeah. Yeah. I don't use the account they offer, so I could control the lights from outside my Wi-Fi. I'm fine with just controlling them when on the same network. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. See, that's a good way to do it. They still are added onto your network and are a potential like vulnerability to your Wi-Fi, but like you do have to take some give and take when you do need the accessibility to have your lights controlled on your phone rather than trying to reach for something, right? Like for example, my mother can't like pinch anymore because of the nerve damage from chemo or whatever. So like we are getting her tools and things to do things with to allow her to still be able to have accessibility and these other things. This article goes on and on, but holy crap. New company called Nothing. I don't know how new it is, but it's new that from me to hear it over the last couple weeks because they sold out on their phones over the summer or something. But like new company that claims too much is a fraud and a sham and awful and does bad things, big shock. You'll be shocked to know. There's more to read to this article. Go ahead and click it if you would like to read more, but I thought I would bring this to everybody's attention that sometimes things are too good to be true and don't believe them. For our last article, dump this into chat here. Over the years, we have talked about, over my lifetime, we've talked about the looming climate crisis, like so much, and it's a disaster, and no one's done anything about it. The earliest articles they can find is from like the late 1800s, where it's like, ooh, yeah, this much carbon going into the atmosphere, pretty bad. So it's been over 100 years that we've been talking about this, but this one comes out on CNN that says scientists sound the alarm as the world briefly smashes through 2-degree warming limit for the first time. Yeah, not good. Nothing founded October. Okay, so Nothing is not a new company, but it was founded, let's see here, was that 3 years ago? Back to this article. The Earth's temperature briefly rose above a crucial threshold that scientists have warned for decades could have catastrophic and irreversible impacts on the planet and its ecosystem. For the first time, the global average temperature on Friday last week was more than 2 degrees Celsius hotter than the levels before industrialization, according to the preliminary data shared on Twitter by Samantha Burgess, Deputy Director of the Copernicus Climate Change Center based in Europe. The threshold was crossed just temporarily and does not mean the world is at a permanent state of warming above 2 degrees, but it is a symptom of the planet getting steadily hotter and hotter and moving towards a long-term situation where climate crisis impacts will be difficult, in some cases impossible to reverse. There's a nice infographic they have here showing that where we have been trending based where we have been in the past. Our best estimate is that the first day when global temperature was more than 2°C above pre-industrial levels at 2.06 Celsius, she wrote. Wow. Burgess said her post that global temperatures on Friday averaged 1.17 degrees above 1991 to 2020 levels, making it the warmest November 17th on record. Yeah, I went to Colorado and wore like just this jacket and pants and whatever. I didn't even need a hat, scarf, did not need gloves. Like, it was so warm at a mile high in Denver over this weekend. It was very weird. The breach of 2 degrees on Friday came 2 weeks before the start of the UN COP28 climate conference in Dubai. Ew. Don't hold it there. Where countries will take stock of their progress towards the Paris Climate Agreement. I mean, it doesn't sound like it's very good if you're hosting in Dubai, but to limit global warming to 2 degrees above pre-industrial levels with an ambition of limiting it to 1.5 degrees. Well, that 1.5 is never going to happen. And you're hosting in a country that gives no fucks about the planet because they have sold their way in, they have sold so much oil. 1 day above 2 degrees of warming does not mean that the Paris Agreement has been breached. You know, it kind of does, with the ambition of limiting it to 1.5 degrees. It doesn't sound like that's... maybe I'm catastrophizing this, but like, this seems like a huge problem. But highlights how we are approaching those internationally agreed limits. We can expect to see increasing frequency of 1.5 degrees and 2 degrees days over the coming months and years. Yeah, it'll be the norm. This is the norm. This is how trending things work. So without like major change, it's like, oh, are you willing to give up your car? It's like, yeah, I sure am. Are you willing to give up this? Are you willing to give up that? It's like, hey, people, are you willing to give up meat? Like, permanently, so that we can solve this problem? And people are just gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna give up my car. I'm not gonna give up flying in airplanes. I'm not gonna give up anything, right? Like, we need like high-speed bullet trains to get people around. We need to stop putting people in shitty airplanes. Oh god, it was the worst. Flying has become such an awful. It's the first time I've flown since COVID, and I flew for a study and not for leisure. So, yeah. This study goes on and on and on, but unless they use this as a trigger point to say, hey, everything's fucked, we need to make huge sweeping changes, which we can't even agree that the Jan 6th in the United States, we cannot agree that Jan 6th was an insurrection. I don't think we'll ever agree on like, you know, what is needed to be done, because we have billionaires sitting on like huge vast sums of money. So let me know what you think in the comments below. As for Me, I am out of articles and out of coffee. So we will see you next time on Rise and Grind. Thank you for being a part. Please press that subscribe button if you're on YouTube and the follow button on Twitch, and we will see you next time.